Hello everyone, welcome back to Volume 1. Today I'm trying a project. I've set up camp underneath this black pentagon here, which is one of the hardest things I've tried in a long time. I've had a few niggles here and there, so I've kind of been staying away from things that overly aggravate my right shoulder or any of my fingers. So yeah, this is kind of like a bit of a baptism of fire back into crimpy stuff. So the climb starts on some kind of slippy feet into a nice kind of like right hand crimpy, I want to say Gaston, it's not really a Gaston, but I'll show you what I mean by like how I'm holding it. And then you kind of like swing over into quite a precise toe, and I really enjoy the move, but then trying to press through into the next kind of crimpy section is really quite tough, and it's taken me a little while to figure out what I want to try and do after some kind of like shoddy start attempts, which I'll include. I think I've got a couple of like video clips of me trying this last session. But today I figured I'd just camp under it and try and get the thing done. I ordered I was going to say drone, it's not a drone, it's a gimbal. So we're going to have a play with that and see how we get on. It's quite complicated to like assemble, but I think we're there with it, so we shall see what comes out. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this session, and now I'm going to show you the climb. The initial pull-on feels a little bit awkward as you're kind of looking up into a slight overhang, and I'm just trying to keep that toe on the dual texture there, and then comes the swing, which luckily I caught quite well on this first attempt, but sometimes it did take me a re-swing. Then comes this awful press, so I'm really pushing that left arm into a mantle and shifting all of my weight left into that toe, and that toe is kind of like really crucial. But from this attempt I had an idea, and that was to try and execute a drop knee with that left knee into a really deep drop knee, to see how that worked in terms of making the distance to that crimp. So you can see I just missed that swing there and have to take another pop, which is quite draining. The second stab is better, so I go for my extreme drop knee method, and I find that it does help. Then I'm making sure that I place my left crimp as far left as I can on that hole, because I'm reading that I'm going to have to match into it, so I'm going to need to leave space. Then I'm placing a toe in that starting dish, which I don't feel secure in, but I haven't had it slip on any attempt, so I guess that it is actually quite solid, even though it doesn't feel like it, and I bump up. So I step through, I get my right foot wide onto this slope there, and now I feel like I'm just not in that gap like I want to be, and I'm wiggling those hips around trying to find a point where I feel balanced, but I can't. So this attempt was pretty much exactly the same sequence as the last, because that seemed to work for me. But then when I'm coming into the crimps on the right, I dry fire on the left and eject backwards, which was pretty wild ride. So here's a really good demo of how starting closer to the wall really helped me to feel in a much stronger position. I'm a little unsure on the physics of this, but it really made a huge difference jumping that foot in slightly, bringing my hips close to the wall before starting, matching on the start holds basically. So I was really pleased with this as a project. It's the hardest thing I've climbed in quite a while. And then next up we have one of Nathan's projects on the Behemoth competition wall at Volume 1. It also goes at the Pentagon grade, though it's definitely a different style completely on these big green holds through a really steep angle of wall through the middle of the competition wall. So Nathan starts sat using this positive wide pinch to lift himself up from the floor and into a barely start sequence. So these dish holds are actually a lot more easily held as guppies as Nathan is holding them here. This cut is a pretty sapping move, but the crimp is good enough to control the swing and Nathan keeps himself tucked into the overhang with a nicely placed heel to the right. Again, to keep onto the wall, Nathan bumps that right heel into the crimp and then uses that to rock over into this wide sloped hold, and then into a left to right transition which blows his shoulders out and he drops down. Here you get a better idea of the extreme angle of this competition wall and the toe on the triangular volume that Nathan uses to launch up, and you can see he's also making some use of a really good stabilising toe. Then he's into that insane shoulder move again, and this time he's able to create a little bit more space to swap his feet beneath him, and he's able to position himself a little steadier to try and bring the match in, but wobbles off. So unfortunately Nathan wasn't able to complete his project this session, but he is really close and I am really looking forward to watching him send it next time. So before we finish, I thought I'd let you know about a giveaway that I am running with Beyond Hope, who are a UK-based climbing gear distributor. To celebrate hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram, I'm running a giveaway with them where you can win a pair of shoes, a pair of EB shoes in your choice of model and size. So follow the instructions on screen to find out how to enter. So thank you very much for watching our projects. I really hope that you enjoyed watching us try and figure out these climbs, and I will see you in my next climbing video. Bye!